What's up, YouTube? Pastor Bob here. What am I up to today? Well, I seen a natural spring coming from the back of my yard, so I started digging. Next to the well, of course. So this is an artesian well. Artesian wells are generally about 50 to, uh, you know, 60 inches into the ground where the pipe comes down that flows down to your house, blah, 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 right? So when you have to get to any kind of pipe, coming from your artesian well to your house, into your expansion tank, because your pump is down inside. I'll show you here in a second. So on an artesian well, if you look down in there, this wire right here and that rope are connected to a big long pipe like that. And on the end of it, okay, that wire goes all the way down the pipe, and on the end is a big long salamander. Looks like a M M105 howitzer round. It's the only way I can explain it. So there's a 2 horsepower motor on the end, way down in there, about 100 foot, right? It's a 225 foot deep artesian well, but it only has to go down to, I think, 75 feet or so is where the water comes to. Well, anyway, so right here in this spot, I notice the geyser coming up. Lots of water, lots of water. Well, to get to it, you got to dig, 5 feet, 6 feet down into the ground. And I thought, I don't want any more problems come wintertime, because I've been through that. So I found the end of the pipe. And if you look, the cast is a little corroded there. But what they did was they put a copper fitting or bronze fitting and then a copper fitting into the plastic pipe down to the house with only one stainless steel, at least they use stainless steel, hose clamp. And that's it. That's how they plumbed it down to the house. So I'm willing to bet, and I haven't checked this out yet, but I am willing to bet you, dime to a dozen, what's happening here is this is probably loose. And what's happening is the pump's kicking in, and it's putting a lot of pressure down in here. And then what's happening is there's a backflow that's coming out of here because there's so much water pressure from that 2 horsepower motor. So instead of triggering the delay mechanism, the shutoff valve on the expansion pump, to where when the pressure hits, that's it, it stops after the expansion tank is filled up, it's running for a little while longer and it's backflowing. I'm not sure, but I've seen that in the past. This is the only pipe coming out of here, and everything around this area is all wet. So I assume that is probably what is going on. So if you have your own home, have an artesian well, or even a well that has underground plumbing like this, that's what I'd check first before you worry about lines being broke. Because if you see, there's only about 8 to 10 inches of length of hose coming out. And then you've got this corrugation that they put around. This is actually electrical line that feeds into the house alongside of this water line. Okay, and this electrical line is the line that goes up and goes to your pump. Well, they put this corrugated pipe around it. I can't remember how many pounds per square inch it'll hold, but 9 times out of 10, it ain't going to bust. What comes loose, or what ends up being the problem, is the connection. It'll rust out if they put like old cast iron pipe or something, instead of using something that's corrosive, corrosion resistant, they put stuff like that in. And I can tell you by looking at it, all it is probably looks like 1.25 inch fitting, and it has no barbed end on it. So when it has no barbed end, when you hook down in here, the only thing you're hooking on is those little itty bitty threads that's on this side, and it's probably only about that long. And that's probably what's causing the problem. But they did use Teflon tape. So by using Teflon tape, I should be able to get it out of there, if that's the cause, to replace it. Because it needs a barbed end on it, really it does. Or at least what it needs is to be pushed longer into it. So I don't know. There's lots of different ways to fix it. I could put another hose clamp on it, but I don't know. Anyway, so that's the problem. I call it the Swamp Yankee plumbing. Anyways, guys, just a little information for you. How much did I dig out? Well, I dug out a lot. So it's like 54 inches deep, I think. So just to get to that one spot. Anyways, guys, I hope you got some information. Might help you out in the future. By the way, this pipe here is what they call a locator pipe. And generally it has a red tip on it, see? And that's just to tell you when you're digging where that pipe lays. And it usually lays right alongside like this. Just like that. Usually lays right alongside like that. And it has a red tip to let you know that there's power down in there. Not just water, but there's power down in there. So if somebody needs to re-dig up the pipe, that's a locator for them. Okay? Anyways, like, share, subscribe. Hope you all have a wonderful day. It's Pastor Bob. I'm out of here. See ya.